Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Street Smart Millionaire. This week, we're interviewing one of my very good friends and one of my coaches, Brian Sciutto. Now, Brian, you live where?
Hey, Coach. I live mainly in Colleyville, Texas.
And where's the other place you live?
I live also in San Diego, California.
Why do you live in two places?
Well, we had some life changes over the past 5 years. And so my ex-wife and my daughter moved to Texas. My fiance is in Texas. And so I now am a resident in Texas. So I live here about 60% of the time. And the
So
rest,
why do you still live in San Diego?
because that's where a majority of my operation is, my relationships are, my team is, all the good stuff.
So you're in the mortgage business. How long have you been in the mortgage business?
Going on about 14 years in the mortgage business.
14 years, and you're how old?
I am 52.
So you were 38 when you got into your career. That's a long time. What'd you do before that?
And I did all kinds of stuff. I was in the health club business. I was in the urban infill high-rise development business. I've been in a lot of different things.
So what made you decide on the mortgage business? How'd you get in the mortgage business?
So back when I was in the development business, we had preferred lenders. And when 2008 hit, I realized all the ones that were our preferred lenders either had no idea what they were doing or they didn't have integrity. And so they probably worked on the golf course more than they worked in the office. And when the shit hit the fan, basically they didn't know what to do. They put their tail between their legs and they took off. And so they kind of screwed me a little bit. And so I decided after that ended, I decided to get in that business and do it better.
So you've been in the mortgage business for 14 years, and how long have you been my student?
About 13 of those years.
So you got in the business 1 year. What made you decide to go find a coach?
I didn't know what I was doing. I was a mess. I was working 110 hours a week, maybe making 35 to 50 grand. I was probably 200 grand in the hole, actually, after the first year and a half. And I heard about your program through a couple friends of yours, and I was desperate to get to an event and learn about your recipe and playbook.
So why do you think that I was interested in taking you on?
I think you saw potential. I think you saw that I was tough. I think you saw that, I had a lot of ambition, an athlete, like all the things that you love.
Well, here's what I will tell you. At 39, 40 years old, you were as shredded as anybody had ever seen. You were as tough as nails on the basketball court. You asked a lot of questions. You were extremely ambitious. So when I'm looking for somebody, I'm looking for winner qualities. When I'm looking to coach somebody or I'm looking to hire somebody, I'm looking for somebody that's done well at something. They're driven. They want to do well. I hire for ambition. I don't hire for talent. How about you?
I'm a big believer in hungry people with a lot of ambition that come from hard times that want something that they don't have.
You were in for my birthday. I brought all my 35 coaches in, and we had one of my friends, a local race car driver, Joey Lagana, who's a famous race car driver. And he talks about the death of all teams and companies is what?
Complacent.
He talks about what are you tolerating? And he talks about B- students. What did he talk about?
He did. He talked about the fear of tolerance, B- students. Those are the worst, or employees, B- employees. Those are the worst employees.
So B- employees aren't bad, but they're not good. They're not driven. They're kind of okay. They're sensitive. They get their feelings hurt real easily. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely agree with that.
So I have about 200 employees. What do you have?
We're right around 30 employees again.
So you have 30 employees. You're the epitome of a successful small business person. So how many years have you made over $1 million?
So I'll say since I've been with you, I've accumulated about 15 million in terms of.
How many years have you made over $1 million?
I think it's going on 8 years in a row.
So you've made $1 million 8 years in a row. So it took you 7 years. You've been in the business 5 years. So 5 years into the business, you made $1 million. Normally it takes somebody 10 years in an industry to make $1 million. How did you get there so much faster?
I think you pushed me really hard when we first got together. You saw something in me that maybe I didn't see in myself. You made me get really uncomfortable really fast. You thought if I could just go sell, I could make a lot of money. And I was caught up in that turbulence of like get some leads, facilitate the leads, didn't have assistants, all that kind of stuff. And so, you made me hire an assistant when paying that assistant was all the money I was making at the time. And you told me if I don't hire that assistant in 2 weeks, don't ever come back to the coaching program. Like I was basically dead to you, in other words. And so you believed in me and you thought that if I would rise up to the challenge and just surrender completely, that I could do pretty big things. And so I did that.
Sales first, then team, then money. What's the formula?
Sales, team, money.
In that order. Do you agree? So listen, I always talk to everybody in all the industries I coach about identifying the perfect client. One of my go-to first opening conversations. Who is your perfect client?
Oh, like from a real estate standpoint, a partnership standpoint.
Where do you get business? You get business from realtors, right?
Yeah, 100%. So real estate agents are the perfect client for me. Real estate agents that have equal ambition, real estate agents that are equally interested in becoming business people, and really, doing things above and beyond what the rest of the industry are doing. So I'm looking for like the 2%ers.
So what size are the perfect realtor for you?
We like to talk about that 12 to $25 million a year mark would be the perfect size with a few.
You want realtors that have a team or sell the houses themselves?
Preferably the ones that do it themselves.
So we want ambitious realtors that are driven. They want to build a business and they want to actually lead the team and be the main salesperson. You kind of want to be like the Patrick Mahomes or the Saquon Barkley or the Michael Jordan. They want to be the main superstar athlete. You agree with that?
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Cool. So we identify this $12 to $25 million agent. How many of them are in Texas, in your area within it? What is your territory, first of all?
Sort of the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, and then the Southern California, San Diego specific county.
So your territory is a half hour from where your office is. Do you agree in every direction?
Yep.
So you target market these $12 to $25 million realtors within a half mile of your area. Why not like people in Arizona or people in Florida? Why not all over the country?
So you believe in relationship-driven businesses, so live and local, being able to get together with people, meet their clients in person. Sales is all about face-to-face, and that's what you preach.
Did I bring all my coaches in for 3 days?
Yeah, it was a great time, lots of interaction, and
Did we have parties?
we did.
Did we eat a lot of food?
We did.
Did we work on our marriages, our leadership, our coaching skills? Did we work on a lot of stuff?
It was man cave talk, man. So we had a lot of poker. We had a lot of relationship deepening. I mean, we even worked out and got sweaty in the garage and in the middle of it all.
I think that that's kind of the basis of relationship marketing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Would you say that if you were to describe your business, would you say it would relationship-based mortgages?
Yeah, 100%. So relationship, referral-based business.
Cool. I agree. It's referral-based, relationship-based. So how many of these realtors do you have in Texas? And how many of these realtors do you have in San Diego that you chase?
I probably have 15 super solid relationships in Southern California, probably have 9 super solid relationships in Texas, constantly chasing 5 into each market on top.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So you have 24 really good relationships.
Yeah.
Now, what in your opinion makes it a really good relationship? They give you a deal a month. How much business do they give you?
Deal a month, they know how to refer the right way. They really
So
understand
how do you want them to refer you?
with a lot of honor, with a lot of trust, letting the client know that I am the best to help them reach their
So if
goal.
I'm one of your realtors, what would you want me to say to my client?
Hey, hey, Rick, if you could do me a favor, when you refer me, let them know that I'm literally the best mortgage professional in the area. I will take great care of their clients and I will holistically and advise them with integrity.
Cool. I think that that's how we want our realtors to coach. So how many realtors do you chase? How many have you chased? How many have you met to get these 24?
A lot more than 24 relationships, but I would say I have 24 super
I know,
good.
but have you met like 200? Have you met 100? How many did you meet to get it down to 24 great ones?
No, it's probably I have a goal of meeting 200 realtors per year, and so I would know
200 new realtors per year, every year. And of that 200, you might land 5 new relationships or 8 new relationships.
Yeah, in between 5 and 10.
Now, some of your realtors stop being productive.
Yes, sir.
Some of your realtors don't like you anymore.
Things happen.
Some of them move.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what happens to people that don't add new referral partners?
It dies slowly.
They slowly die and they go down. So I look at the mortgage business in my 40 years that I've been in it. I'm constantly changing realtors, loan reps, referral partners. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I'm constantly chasing new people to build my business. Like I start on the road this week and I go to Seattle. I got a Sunday night show, a Monday morning, a Monday afternoon, a Monday night, and a Tuesday morning show. I will see about 1,000 people in 5 shows. Will I get some clients out of it?
Absolutely, man. The more
Maybe
activity,
10. How many will I get?
yeah, probably 10.
Maybe 10 out of, I might see 1,000 or 2,000 people in 5 shows. I might get 10 new clients out of it that want to come to me that do over, like my client, my perfect client does over 20 million, under 100 million, and they're very ambitious and they want to grow and they're willing to get their hands dirty. Like Joey talked about dirty work. What's dirty work mean to him?
Leading from the front, man. He gave a great example of, when he goes to the garage with all the guys, he has 400 employees. He'll literally take out a broom and broom the entire garage floor right in front of them all.
I think that's dirty work. He has his team over to his house. He has a lot of parties. We have a lot of parties. We socialize a lot. It was fun to see somebody else in business doing a lot of things that we look at. So when I look at my referral partners, you're meeting 200 a year. You have 24 great accounts. You have 40 or 50 you're developing at all times, right?
Yeah.
So how much time do you spend in sales, either getting a referral partner or converting a lead? How much time of your week do you spend in sales?
It's been a long time in growing this with your leadership, but it's about 90% of my time is in green time and about 10% of my time is in red time.
So you spend 90% in sales, 10% in making sure the files close smoothly, correct? So I look at most loan reps and they probably spend 80% of their time working on their files, 20% sell. So we're out there attacking, identifying who the perfect client is. We're meeting 200 of them a year. We've got 24 that I call ride and dies. What's ride and die mean to you? Like me, a boy, ride and die. What does that mean?
Got your back no matter what, man.
Got your back no matter what, taking care of you, worried about you, marriage issues, kid issues, health issues, fitness issues. I got you and you got me. Would you say you're riding and dying with these 24 realtors?
Yeah, it definitely is a ride or die relationship with all of them.
I don't think people understand what that is because they don't have those. Like it's people to counter no matter what. So you've got these 24 realtors. Talk about weekly contacts. What are some of your structured things you do to contact these realtors?
So with my top 11, very specifically, I am in their team meeting every single week. So I am programming.
So you're in their team meeting with them every week with your top.
Yeah. It's mandatory. And then all 24, I meet with once a month for at least a half an hour to just go through how we're doing, how they're doing, how we can each get better. We go through all the leads, what was referred the right way, what wasn't referred the right way, and how we can slowly get 1% better every single week.
So weekly, you're in 11 of their team meetings for how long?
Ever.
10 minutes, 15 minutes? How long?
It's in between 5 and 15 minutes.
Cool. And then once a month, you meet with them for a half hour to see how you can serve them, how you can take care of them, how you can better take care of their clients.
Yes.
What about weekly contacts? What do you have?
I contact at least 50 of my top realtors every single week.
So every Monday you call 50, correct? I want you to call 40. You're an overachiever, so you call 50 every Monday. What does that call go like? Hi, this is Rick from Remax.
Hey, Rick, it's Sciutto. Just calling to check in on you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing great. Hey, listen, man, I didn't see you or hear from you this weekend. What the heck were you up to?
Been distracted. I had my birthday, had a lot of people in town, just kind of crazy. By the way, thanks. I got that sweatshirt from you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I love you and I'd do anything for you. And I know gifts don't really matter that much, but I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you and everything that you do. So what was the highlight of the birthday weekend?
Highlight of the birthday was my 35 coaches coming in and just hanging out with all my friends. It was great.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. Well, hopefully you had a great week and a great weekend on your birthday, man. Before I let you go, I just wanted to see if there's anything at all this week that you might need help with. Did anything come in over the weekend that I can help you with right now?
I did write an offer on a client that I told to call you.
Okay, I didn't get that call. Would you mind if you made a three-way text introduction right now so I can reach out?
Perfect, no problem. I know if he goes with you, I'll make more money. I know I'll close on time, so I appreciate it.
Well, I always love to take care of you, buddy. I'll make sure that happens.
Thanks, Brian. So you're making 50 of these a week. You're doing 11 team meetings a week. You're meeting with all 50 once a month or just the 24 once a month?
So I probably meet with all 50 once a quarter minimum. I would say that I meet with maybe 20 once a month.
Cool. What do you do socially with these realtors?
Now we're going to a good example is taking a bunch of them to a Harlem Globetrotters game in San Diego next weekend. So that should be a lot of fun. And I like to try to do, leverage lunches for their team, just lots of fun stuff and, poker nights, stuff like that.
I think that business is more fun when it's done with people you care about and people you like. You agree with that?
100%.
Oh, you've done really well. You've been over 1 million, 8 years in a row. You're one of the best loan reps, one of the best branch managers. You have 30 people. How many of your 30 are salespeople and how many are staff people?
We got 11 salespeople, 19 staff people total.
Cool. So my scale for teams is 1 per 5 staff. So what's 19 times 5?
19 times 5 would be about
95.
5. Yeah.
So do you close 95 loans a month or are you currently overstaffed?
So we're a little bit overstaffed right now, but I just hired 2 people, so we're going to build into that.
Okay, let me tell you, we both work for the same company. We work for the #1 mortgage guy in America, cross country, and he's making cuts. I'm making cuts. You're making what?
Making cuts.
So I have a CFO that works for me, happens to be my wife, very good with numbers. What is her job?
Her job is to manage the numbers.
Her job is to create gap. What is her job?
Okay. All right, create gap. I like that.
What does gap mean?
Gap is make more money per person, find efficiency.
The difference between the revenue and the overhead. What is the gap?
Yeah, the difference between revenue and overhead margin.
So you are the CEO, the COO, and the CFO. So as the CFO, the word is gap. What's the word?
Yeah.
That's the difference between revenue and overhead. So personally, you're the CFO. How can you create gap?
By first of all, process to make sure that we're staffed properly. So
you go. But listen, at home, on your personal family, you are the CFO. Oh, how do you create gap at home?
How do I create a personal family budget?
Bigger paycheck, lower overhead on the personal budget. What do you got to work on?
Big paycheck, lower overhead.
So I want you all to realize this. As the CFO of your family and business, are you the CFO of your business?
I am.
Are you the CFO of your family?
I am.
The word is gap. Difference between revenue and overhead. I'm cutting my personal overhead. I'm cutting my business overhead. I'm cutting all my overhead. My building rents, I'm cutting overhead. Everything in January, I'm cutting overhead. And every January, I look to raise my revenue to create what?
Yeah.
And the COO's job is experience. What is the COO's job?
Experience.
It has to do with processes and systems. What does the chief operating officer have to work on?
Processes and systems.
Like having a good date with your spouse would be a good COO at home. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Activities, how to transport the kids, when you go to the gym, how you do the gym. Those are COO activities. So what is the COO's responsibility?
All the little things at home. Getting people.
Listen. The COO's job is experience. What's the COO's job?
It's experience.
What is the CFO's job?
Money, the gap.
Only the gap, not the money. It's not the CFO's job, the money. What's the CFO's job?
Is the gap.
Between the revenue, the expenses. Personally, you're the CFO. At work, you're the CFO. You got to run a tight family budget. You got to cut the overhead. You got to raise the revenue, correct?
Yes, sir.
COO is experience, processes and systems to make the employees and clients like it better, correct?
Okay, yes, sir.
What's the CEO's responsibility?
Lead from the front.
Revenue.
Revenue. All right. Revenue.
Just so you know, you don't have to be a leader. It'd be nice if you're a leader. Why?
I don't know.
Well, I think that people grow when they have good leadership. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So I think you should be a leader, and we are all leaders of our family and our businesses, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
And leaders influence. Like, I like one word per job. Why is that?
Okay. Clear, simple,
Now, what does everybody that I know?
very simple.
Now, that would either make me feel very bad or very happy. What does it make me that I'm simple and you're complicated? What does it make me? Happy or sad?
Definitely makes you happy.
Makes me happy that I keep it simple and you're one of my best coaches. You're one of my top guys. You've made over $1 million 8 years. You've accumulated in the last 12 years we've been together, you've probably accumulated 5 to 10 million in total assets between equity and stocks, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're working towards the golden level. The golden level is 10 million in equity and 10 million in stocks. What's the golden level?
10 mil in equity and 10 mil in stocks.
You agree that's the golden level that you're shooting for?
That definitely is a golden level.
On your current trajectory, when will you hit that?
Yeah, I should hit that by the end of next year.
So 2 more years, you'll be at the golden level. 10 in equity, 10 in cash. The golden level means you're set for life. You're now working on legacy and dynasty. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
But first comes survival, then comes retirement, then comes legacy, then comes dynasty. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think you're doing really well. And I think the CEO is about what?
Leadership. Sorry, it's got revenue.
The CEO is about revenue and hopefully leadership. What is the CEO about?
It's primarily revenue and then a lot of hopefully leadership.
Oh, I look at CEO as revenue control and work on leadership. I look at the COO as experience for the client's employees through processes and systems. I look at the CFO as gap, creating a gap between the revenue and expenses. Is that simple?
Very simple recipe.
Does it help you?
Always helps me.
Cool. Now, let's talk about your balance. You recently got married. When did you get married?
Well, so technically I'm not married, but I've been engaged for a couple years.
Okay. And you're getting married when?
We don't have an exact date yet.
Great. By Monday, I want an exact date. What do I want by Monday as your homework?
Writing it down. By Monday, you want an exact date.
I like commitment and permanency. What do you like?
I like what you like, commitment and permanency.
So I know this woman is the woman of your dreams. I've watched you meet her. I've watched you hang out with her. I've watched you get engaged. You're not getting over the finish line. Why?
There's no reason.
Cool. Go to her this week and set a date. Don't care if it's a year out, 2 years out, 3 years out. Do I care when it is?
No, sir.
Set a hard date and a location. Hard date, a location. What does location mean?
Means committed.
Means where do you want to get married? What do you want it to look like? Do you want to do a destination wedding? Do you want to do a party? Do you want to go to the courthouse? What do we need to do?
Probably courthouse first, celebration second.
Well, I think that if you're going to have a destination wedding, I would go to the courthouse and have a destination wedding, invite some friends. I had a destination wedding on a mountain, me and Britt. There were 11 couples there. Did we have a great time?
Yeah, I've heard stories that it was an amazing time.
Did I rent 4 Airbnbs so everybody could stay in?
Yes, I heard that you did.
Oh, we had a really fun time. We had a really good party. We went whitewater rafting one day. We had a wedding. I had all my best and closest friends at the time of my life. I've been married to Britt for 22 years. I was married 14 years, single for 3, married for 22. And it's a ride and die relationship for me. What is this with you and your lovely girl?
It is ride and die.
That means we're together until they get rid of us, correct?
Yes, sir.
I love what Roy says. Roy's my mentor when it comes to marriage and God. And he's always like, Mary can leave, but I'm going with her.
I love that. He says it all.
That's how it has to be. So I think that we need to get a firm date and how she wants to get married. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Some final thoughts for our audience about wealth and backs.
I think it all starts with discipline and accountability and having a mentor. And if you're listening to this podcast, if you're a lender or realtor and you haven't checked out our program and you want to build something special through accountability. I think accountability is a big part of it as well. I think you gotta follow a recipe, and you have the best recipe in the business. I've been following it for many years, and every time I add something or take away something from a recipe, I veer off course a little bit. I get stung, and I think the easiest thing is simple. Follow the playbook, stay disciplined, have an accountability partner such as yourself, and get into coaching, and you can do incredible things.
Well, you were the top loan rep in my program last year. So we have 335 clients that pay us 40 grand. We have 90 clients that pay us 20 grand. And we have 450 clients that pay us 10 grand. And you were the number one lender of all of those clients. Last year, you did how many million?
We did 160 plus million.
So you did 160 plus million. And this is real business that you do. This is not like a bunch of loan reps under you. This is your actual business. I know that you're very organized, very structured, very disciplined. You do $160 million. You make millions of dollars every year. You got millions of dollars in the bank, and you're still being coached. A lot of people would be surprised by that. Why?
Man, I don't know why they would be surprised, but I'd assume that once you kind of have enough, or what they perceive to be enough, they can let their foot off the gas. That's just not the way I was built.
Well, I was built that if something works, do more of it. So I find you to be a really good coach, a really good student. I think your business is going really well. You got 24 ride and die realtors. You got 50 you're chasing. You meet 200 a year. Seems pretty easy, doesn't it?
Simple recipe, coach.
So I make 40 outbound calls a day. What do you make?
I make at least 40 outbound phone calls a day.
Just so you know, I went to 45 on Monday. Why?
Because you want to, either you're
I don't
behind.
like my numbers.
Okay, you're behind.
I don't like my numbers. I increase my activity. I make more phone calls. I'm seeing more people. I'm doing more Zoom meetings. I'm doing more seminars. So listen, if you're a realtor lender, I got a subscription we're starting this month for $99 a month. I got a level 1 if you're under 10 million, $750 a month. I got a level 2 from 10 to 20 million, $1,500 a month. I got a level 3 that is like over 25 million to 200 million. We got a realtor that did 2 million. Brian did 160 million. Casey did 180 million, but you make more money than him. Why? He did 200 million. Why did you make more money than him?
He has a terrible comp plan.
No, he doesn't. He has a cap on his commission. What does he have?
Oh, yeah. Out on this commission. Okay, I didn't know that.
He has a 7,500 cap. What do you have?
No cap.
That's why you beat it. He has a great comp plan, but he has a what?
He has a cap.
Just so you know, the victory is in the little details, the little teeny details. Like he has a cap, you don't have a cap. That's why he beat you. It's the only reason that you beat him. He did 200 million. You did 160 million. My top realtor did 210 million. If you want to be great, you need to be in an organization with a bunch of people that are committed to doing great. And there's no goofing around in our program, is there?
No,
So listen, I love having you as a student. I'm very proud of you. I appreciate you taking time today to come on my podcast. Have a great week, Brian. Have a great week, audience. Street Smart Millionaire. See you next week. Bye.